Welcome to my room. Welcome to my room. Welcome to my room. Hey, 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 hey. Period. You guys, welcome back to my room. I'm so excited for this video and to have you back. Okay, so I recently just found out about my maternal lineage. You guys, I had no idea that there was so much stuff that I didn't know. I thought that I was 3rd generation American. It turns out I'm like 5th or 6th generation American. My family been here for a long time. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So as you guys know from my last video, half of me is black and half of me is Mexican, and both came from America. And then the black side was American and American and American and American and American until we were brought here on slaves ships. Okay, but we gonna get into that later. You know, they ripped families apart from each other, so we actually have no idea like where we exactly come from. However, if you stay tuned for June's videos, which is my birthday month, I will be giving you guys a video every week, hopefully. But in that video, I will be talking about my 23andMe results that I got back, and you'll get to see exactly where I'm from, and I will be opening it live with you because I have no idea what I am. I mean, I know the gist of what I am, but I don't know like what I really am, you know what I'm saying? Like the countries that I came from. Did I come from the Congo? Did I come from Cape Town, South Africa? Like, where did I come from? Like, that's what I want to know. So we're gonna find that out. However, in this video, I do have some information from my maternal lineage, and I hope you guys enjoyed your Happy Mother's Day. If you're a mother, hope you enjoyed it. But I am doing the maternal side because I recently discovered more on that side, and eventually I might dig deep into my grandfather's side as well. But I'm doing my mom and her mom and then her mom and then her, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing that side. So without further ado, here we go. I'm so excited to share a piece of myself with you. Okay, so I will be posting pictures and stuff, and you'll get to see like Tati as a baby and some other cool things. Alright, so in 19 something something, I don't know the dates, you guys. Unfortunately, I do not know the dates that everybody was born, but I do know the names, and I will show you some of the pictures right here. I look like the girl from the Chiquita Bananas, you know, with the little thing. Okay, let's start with my mom. Okay, my mom's name is Cynthia, and she was born in 1963, and she is Mexican, or I guess Hispanic, because she has a lot of stuff in her too. Like my great grandmother on my grandfather's side, my grandfather's mom was part Native American, part Mexican, part all these kinds of things, from what I heard. But my mom is a very fair complected woman, and I'll get into why she's fair later. Okay, so my mom's name is Cynthia, and this is a picture of my mom. That's my mom with my uncle, who was the baby. My mom is the oldest. Okay, and then so here's a picture of my grandmother. Her name is Teresa, and that's her as a baby. She's so cute. I was so fortunate to get to know my great-grandparents as a kid. They died when I was 7 and 9. And I spent time with my great-grandfather when he was on dialysis in the hospital, and my great-grandmother, you know, I would go to her house as a kid, and my great-grandfather was so sweet. He was so sweet, he was so cute, and he spoke Spanish, and he would ask for coffee all of the time. So I started like learning a little bit of Spanish with him because he only spoke to me in Spanish. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of that growing up because nobody in my household like really spoke Spanish to me. He would ask me for a coffee all the time while he was in the hospital, and I would get it for him. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I was supposed to be getting him coffee because I don't know if that was against his dietary restrictions, but I would do it anyway. And when the nurses and my mom wasn't looking, he would ask me. So I low-key think that he wasn't supposed to be having it. He just felt like he could take advantage of his great-granddaughter to get him some coffee. Yeah, like I said, I was so young, so I don't have many memories, but it was still cool to get to bask in their presence for the short time that I was allowed to have with them. So that was really cool. Anyway, my great grandmother's name is Mercedes. Here's a picture of her right here. Yeah, she's so pretty. So her name was Mercedes Flores. Now what's strange is she married a man whose name was also Flores, and that was my great-grandfather, the one that I talked about. But it's so weird because I was like, was there some ancestral thing going on that I didn't know about? No, that's not the case. Apparently my grandmother actually thinks she married him because he had the same last name as her dad, but they were not related. They just had the same last name. So it's just some strange coincidence, I guess. She had, was it 14 kids? I don't know. She had a lot of kids, y'all. You know, they had a whole bunch of kids back then. You know, they was getting busy. My great-grandfather's parents' names were Luis Flores and Melitonia. My great-great-grandfather, Luis Flores, was born in Encinial, Texas, and it's now known as LaSalle County. I don't know much about him, but I know that he was born in Texas. So he is also a American-born Mexican. On my great-grandmother's side, Mercedes Apolinar, her father's name was Juan Flores and her mom's name was Sarah Apolinar. Juan Flores was a Spaniard who lived on a ranch in Texas, in Laredo. My great-great-grandmother, Sarah Apolinar, was she lived on the border of Mexico. We don't actually know where, but it was like on the southern border of Mexico. And what happened was Juan, who was the Spaniard who lived in Laredo, brought my great-great-grandmother from Texas to basically be his maid, and he paid her to, you know, take care of his clothes, do his ironing, do, you know, the chores and things like that. And they lived like that for a few years, and several years passed and she started being supported by him financially and otherwise, if you know what I mean, because eventually they had kids. AKA my great-grandmother. But they never got married. They just had a nice live-in relationship. He supported her, she took care of him, and you know, that was pretty much it. And I asked how like all of my family got to Michigan, because I'm originally from Ohio and my mom was born in Michigan, and anytime I visited that side of my family, I always went to Michigan to visit them. And so I'm like, how did everybody get from Texas to Michigan, basically? And I was told that my great-grandfather went to work in the fields and got a factory job at Irving Industry melting down steel. So that was kind of cool to know that, you know, one of my relatives worked in the steel industry. But yeah, that's pretty much it of my maternal lineage. I will post a picture right here of my great-grandparents all together. Actually, these are my great-great-grandparents all together. My great-grandparents' parents. That's so confusing. My great-great-grandmother had a sister, and she used to be a fashion buyer in New York in the 30s and 40s, and she would send back clothes to Michigan, which is super cool. But my great-grandmother never kept any of them because she thought that they were ugly. But she should have kept them because I bet they're hella valuable now. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else interesting. I mean, they were a working class family, and you know, they sort of just worked. But I thought it was really cool to like get to see pictures of my great-great-grandparents, which not a lot of people, you know, have access to. So I'm excited, and I'm also really excited to figure out what am I in my 23andMe DNA test, and I will share that with you guys, a live reaction in June. So I'm excited, yay! Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You got to know a little bit more about me as I discovered more about myself. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Cinco de Mayo. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day, and enjoy the rest of this month eating tacos and living your best life. Love you. See you in the next one. Bye.